definitely more of a tempo lineup for Thunder Awaken, where I think Infinity, it's the same way they try to win pretty much always. Just
On the other side, Prada is doing Ogre Magi things, pushing right up into people's faces, trying to do some damage. He honestly got hit pretty hard here in return, but I mean, he had 2 full stacks of tangos when he came to the lane, so he knew this was going to be the way that this plays out. He's just trying to find Parker as much farm as possible, but, well, we take a look at the mid matchup here, Leo Style versus Alone. As of right now, yeah, the SF is getting an edge in the last hits, and as long as he's got raises, that's probably going to remain the case. Leo Style doesn't really out-farm Shadow Raises Shadow Fiend.
yeah, and Alone not getting greedy either, but hold that, because top lane, it's happens, and they won't go any deeper. Very respectful, not wanting to give any more damage, and of course, the stacks getting up there with the wild axes, but
I don't know. It's a nice advantage that the Prophet almost always has in his lane. It just may not matter too much here, especially since they're really not slowing Parker down all that much. As another kill goes down top, Excel, they get punished this time. Frank finds the pickoff, and that ties up the score, and well, that's what happens if Knight's not in the area. He can't really help as Prada falls back down bot, bouncing back and forth between these side lanes. ET, they are starting to ramp up the aggression a little bit.
the death, you always question who it favors, because now Parker gets a little bit of some support, and Prada will be able to heal up his teammate and move some of that aggression elsewhere, but still pretty happy with that situation. And Alone, okay, random Rubik stole his 3-minute rune, so he says, okay, sure, I'm gonna kill you. Alone doesn't even have a bottle.
I don't know if the math checks out on that, but it was funny as hell. I'll give him that much. And meanwhile, Frank, on the run. Knight wants a free kill. Had to get clear for the hook. Able to make the play, but Genic is coming over. There's the telekinesis. It's going to push him back, and really, that's the end of the fight. Or maybe it's not, because Leo Style is kind of waiting in the wings, seeing if he can get in here. And yeah, Excel, I mean, you can try, but this is not going to work.
Nope. Goes down. Of course, Pudge gets to bring the creep equilibrium all the way back to his tier 1, so
even up that gap. At the same time, though, Leo Style didn't have to use the lasso onto Excel in that excursion up top, so now he's got it for bottom, but Parker might just die before he gets here. Yeah. I mean, Leo Style can come in now, look for some revenge with the lasso play, but Michael is not worth losing your carry.
no, Parker is just all the way up way too far, just thinking that Leo Style is probably able to connect a little bit sooner, but then you get to feel the damage, and now Illich, he's level 6, so gotta be careful. This Wrath of Nature, it's gonna come in right now, and it's gonna be to kill Frank. And there you go. Comes through. Easiest kill in the world.
Knight's the one to get it as well, so he puts a little bit of extra gold in his pocket, as well as the stack of Flesh Heap. The resources of your opponents go down pretty significantly. However, we do have a bit of a fight breaking out here. Illich is in some trouble down in the bottom lane. He threw the Wrath of Nature out before he died, but there's no one to follow it up. He didn't really want it, although I suppose if he finds the War Stomp from a Centaur creep, he might take that. But over in the middle lane, Alone, he's getting jumped on. This is not an easy kill. They may not get it. Alone channels out the Requiem, and the Fear pushes everyone away. That's Roar deployed. They don't really get a whole lot out of it. I suppose the Requiem cooldown is traded, and it is a longer cooldown, but well, now there's really no threat coming out from your Beastmaster for a little bit.
And this is where, if maybe Infinity were better set up, they could look to punish the Pudge, who is completely by himself in the top lane, who is going to walk on the Medusa. And let's see. It's going to be an attempt, but it's a retreat. And Prada, well, see ya.
Left behind. Knight gets the free kill. Parker walks away, just says, thank you for your sacrifice, Prada. But, you know, I mean, plays like that, it's fine because it keeps Parker farming, but Blink Doom could be coming their way before they realize it's up.
Yeah, and this is the other option. If they're going to keep dodging us, then Infinity, they are 100% allowed to just Roche. It's where NP is still an extremely valuable hero, and then with the Abaddon coming in as well, Curse is going to pop, and then It's not like we're getting any defense right now. Even just using the Nature's Wrath to keep these waves relatively pushed in, they'll have to deal with mid and bottom, but that's farm that they're willing to take in first stages of the game. THUNDERAWAKEN's game plan is just undisturbed. We're waiting maybe for BKBs or Blink Daggers, and I say that, but they're going for even later items, and well, Prada goes down, and now Parker,
Silence.
this is what's not allowed.
Yep.
Oh no.
They get through the shield pretty quickly. Where's the reinforcements? Genik's going to come in, trying to make some space with telekinesis. Will that be enough, though? Not really looking like it. Parker is surrounded and taken down, and... yeah, the early Orchid, we didn't really get to see it a crazy amount of times just because of the lower kill count, but... situation like that, Illich is able to make the most of it. Now they're onto that objective, and... well, this is exactly what we were sort of warning about for the Infinity side. If you don't make some plays, if you don't do something... THUNDERAWAKEN are just going to take it upon themselves to be the ones choosing when and where the fights happen.
Yeah, and all of this control, not going to get dewarded necessarily, because A doesn't have that much range, and Genik, ooh, okay. Getting a little bit crazy here, but blinks out. They disengage completely. They're still on the run, but they should be able to make that run happen. Blink Dagger on Pudge as well. Maybe they find the Doom here. Michael would be the easy target, and yeah, they just say, that is going to be our easy kill. Gets the Steel Scorched Earth as well. Honestly, pretty large steal for Genik, just because so much damage he can actually do. But aside from that, all of the cores escape. Doesn't lose the Pudge, which is probably the big kill that Infinity would have looked for. Problem is it really a mistake when there's an NP in the game? I am not so sure.
And now Alone's going to get to work. Hitting on that tier 3 tower. Mask of Madness active for a few more seconds, so it's already lost half of its health. They're even going to glyph. Make sure the creep wave stays alive, get a little bit of extra damage in. That lasso does still connect, however. But even if they take him down, it's just the first life. But Alone, well, he doesn't have any backup. The only person here is Illich, and he just actually TP'd away. So they are just straight up going to abandon Alone. Let's see if he can do anything with this. He goes for the Requiem. That sets up the fear. He'll look for the TP, and he makes it out. Genik. That play might have actually worked, but the timing's a little bit off. His stolen Requiem doesn't hit, and somehow Alone gets away with that one.
And depending on how that mid fight goes, well, they're just going to swing immediately for bottom. And, well, Prada, you showed for a second again, and nobody is here to help you. There's very little sympathy for the Ogre. Real cheeky ward that is going to see him making maybe a play on Illich here. It's a bait within a bait right now. There's no BKB on the Pudge, so he can't just stick, but they're going to find the Rubik as well. Oh, this is the worst.
The Rubik gets doomed. Leo Style just has to run. And I think Leo Style does make it away, but only because they spot Frank coming up the ramp, so they will kill him. And Illich says, I didn't say you could leave yet. Gonna hit him up with a silence. He needs the Sprout, though, but he's not really in range for it.
Lincoln 1, waiting for the hook.
There's the hook. It hits a creep, so Leo Style able to get himself away, but it costs him 2 teammates to make that escape.
Yeah, and they run past their creep wave, so not like that top lane is immediately going to be back under pressure, but...
those fights probably will not be going well for you.
Oh, and here we go. It's another cross-map smoke, and they see Illich towards bottom, and okay, Orchid comes through, and Leostar says, I have an Octarine core, and Alone just decides to beat him to death.
Well, they didn't quite
on the
get
run
it.
now.
But Parker just revealed himself, so they know that the Medusa's now in the field. Alone's going to look to get into the tree line, channel out the Requiem. It hits Prada. Other than that, though, that's a whiff. Now the hook comes in, but only hits the boar, and... well, Infinity may have accidentally found an initiation here. They get the roar onto Illich, they'll take him down, and... what else can they get? Leo Style is trying to push forward, but he's pushing forward with barely any HP. I don't know if he actually wants a fight if he finds somebody, and there you go. You got close enough to maybe lasso Knight, but if you get the lasso off, you may just have ended up killing yourself.
Control.
Yep. Now we see the smoke come out. They're going to make their way over. 10 seconds for Roshan. Hello, Michael. That's a nice BKB you got there, but it doesn't really help. Lasso comes through. They find the kill. Frank gets it. Now they're going to look for a little bit more. Without the lasso, this could get complicated, but Knight's actually going to jump in first. The Requiem now channeled out as well, hitting up onto 4, pushing them all back with the fear. Hook from Knight actually does not hit. Genik will still end up going down on the Infinity side, but this fight's starting to get a little bit weird. Alone, yeah, left all alone. His teammates just back off of him, and well, Parker just marches his way through this entire engagement, and oh no, Knight! That's an awkward play. He tries to go for the hook, misses it, now tries to TP home, and is going to be able to make it out. So he's not punished for the greed, but
Well, this is where Thunder Awaken just threw away their easy game by not pressing the issue hard enough. And we'll see, because this is the punish.
yeah, you can't do that.
Can't do that, but it's okay. Now Michael, well, he would be KB, but I think he's just going to eat the death instead. Frank's dead, though.
Knight's able to get something going for him, but he had to use the Dismember for it, so now he'll look for the TP out under the cover of the BKB. Overall, not so bad if you're Thunder Awaken. Right? Support for a core. Alone, though, making me nervous, bud. Dangerously close to the sentry coverage there, but he's going to walk away in time.
Oh, and gotta be careful.
Maybe
There's a stolen
he's
Dismember
not.
right now.
Yeah, hold on a second. Here comes Parker in with the Stone Gaze. Excel gets taken down first. Knight was able to get off a very, very well-timed defensive hook, so that's Stone Gaze used, and you only lose the support for it. Not so bad if you're Thunder Awaken, but that could make things quite complicated for the rest of Thunder Awaken's lineup. The break onto Knight, onto Abba, really onto anybody is Michael. He's going to try and make a move in. They did drop the Doom onto the Dusa, but, well, who cares? Parker just keeps on fighting. He's pushing his way in. They got the lasso onto Knight that's going to pull him out of the base. The Pudge in some trouble. A stolen Dismember keeps him locked down long enough for Parker to find the kill, and Pudge does not have buyback. Thunder Awaken may have just straight up lost this game. Yeah, that's it. They call GG then and there, and well, ET Infinity made us wait until the absolute last game, but we now know who that #1 seed is. It is going to be this Infinity lineup.
Well, if you're 5 rat, rip 5 rat, I suppose. This is the worst case scenario for them, but